onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Do a little bit of mobility work just to start, and then I'm doing a little bit of ukemi work. So just starting with the neck and just mobilizing it front and back. Forward, backwards. Let the whole body go as well, but just focusing on the neck. Pressing it out, drawing it back. A little bit just to press into the chest. Drawing it up. And down. And up. Okay, and looking to the left. To the right. And the left. And the right. Good. Ear to shoulder. Change. Okay. And it's very gentle pressure just on the front corner. Just dropping the head in. That's it. And okay, that. Just the hands on the back. Think about lengthening as well. So it's not so much like crunching the neck down, it's about lengthening the back. So if you've got the skull in the hands, or you've got the skull in the hands, and it's like you draw it up. So it's going out and down. It's just about creating length. Okay, and then just pressing from the front. Press the head forward in this one. So you really want to activate the front neck muscles. If you press kind of hard enough, you'll feel also the lower back needs to really engage to keep the head in position. And it's a nice, easy release. So just working with the shoulders. Draw them up. You can also clench the fists if you like. And just drop them down. And up. Down. If you're drawing them up to the ears. And then down. And then just working them front and back. Opening. And curling them to the front. Good. John, come. Okay. Try and feel in this one like this. You can do this like that, or you can have a sense like the shoulders go around the rib cage. So it's not quite doing this, but it's much more a sense that you can let the shoulder travel around. So you're not doing the mobility at the expense of like crunching the rib cage and like crushing the rib and crushing the shoulders. So get a sense like it's a little bit more open. You can also do this with the hands. It kind of helps, like around the arms a little bit. But have the sense of the shoulders rolling around the rib cage rather than compressing it. You can also breathe in as well at the same time as you do, because it also helps keep the rib cage long. And then just working the same thing, just rolling the shoulders. It's a little bit like you're rowing, but not quite. But I want full mobility in the shoulder. So the focus is really in the shoulder, not quite like drawing the elbow back, but I want that full range of motion. So the front, up, back, and down. And then try the other way. Start to include the elbows a little bit. So. Good, and then just rolling everything back. So really kind of including the elbows now, and also this whole part of the body. Ooh, hello. Good. Just let everything go. But mostly focus on mobilizing the shoulders still. So, good. And then just switching it back, making the arms go. You're doing this kind of figure of 8. And again, really just playing with mobility. So, just let it go. That's it. That's it. Good. Okay, just working the whole shoulder and arm. Draw them up like this. And then at this point, just let the arms open to the back. So you're going to let the arms go that way. The thumb's going to kind of point out to the back here. And then you'll get as far as you can. You can't continue this motion. So what you do is just rotate it back here And then you come back like this. You go up, up, over, and then from here let the arms go out. And then let them come back. Up, over, and then back. Good. And just mobilizing a little bit the chest, rib cage. Working side to side. Front to back. I feel this is different from working the shoulders, so this is really trying to work the spine. And then once you've got that, just feel that you can take it in a figure of 8 or just around in circles. You can also do that. Just get some kind of mobility into it. If you feel a kind of dry direction, it doesn't feel quite oiled, just see if you can kind of work it. And again, use the breath. Just use the movement. Good. And then just coming down to the hips. You feel the hips kind of pass around the circle. Big as you can do. In both directions. That's it. That's it. Good. Good. Just with the hands on the back, just pressing the hips forward a little bit. Following the back. And then just pressing in the hips here. So you're going to kind of fold the pelvis in. Just have the hands here and just press in. Just going to fold the body over with it. And then coming back up, hands at the back. Just pressing through a little bit. So it's just a gentle push, not too much. And taking them to the front, just pressing in. Okay, good. Okay, just loosening the hips off a little bit. Also loosening them up and down, so get the feeling that you can really get the hips up and down, mobilizing. Good. Okay, go lightly to the knees. Keep them very small, you don't want to get to the joint. Forward, as far down as you can go. You can probably get a lot lower than me, but just go as far as comfortable. Stretch them back a little bit. As much as comfortable, yeah. Good. Okay, now just coming to the hip and the leg together, sinking the weight down. Let it swing through. You don't want the core to be as stable as possible, so just let it kind of sink down. Tends to be a bit easier for me if I kind of just take the eyes to the horizon. Forget about watching the leg and the ground. Use their arms as much as you need to for support, for balance. Okay. And just working a little bit at the back, so kind of stretching the leg out. As much as possible, don't bring the body too far forward, but just as much as you need to kind of counterbalance the leg. Mostly feel the back of the leg, hopefully. Just kind of coming, pressing up. Hold it a little bit. And just let it go. Okay, just working the sides. Out to the side, swinging across. So you've got these two movements, out and across. Out and across. And again, use the arms as much as you need to. You can also do this. Might help keep the balance. And again, just reach it out to the side. Hold it a little bit. Press it out. And then just let it down. Just shake it out a little bit. And just working the knee. So you're just going to roll the knee around. Goes up, away, and then back down. Up, away, back down. Up, away, back down. The other one you can do if you've got good foot hip mobility is there, and then drawing the leg out to the back, and then letting it go towards the back, and then back out. Do you know kind of full rotation with the leg? That, and then it goes back, around, and then back. Pretty tricky, but nice one to open the hip out. Once you've got it, you can also make it a bit more fluid. Oi, very tricky for the balance. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good. Good, just shake that leg out because you're going to now use it. So let it go down. You're just going to go to the front back. Just notice there's a difference probably between left side or right side. If there's not, you're very lucky. Really, really lucky. Wait, there we go. If you feel the balance becomes an issue with any of these, use the wall, use a jo, or use a chair. But balance is a good thing really to work on.
Michael, be careful.
Be careful. Oh, I always be careful. Always. Work within your limits. There we go. Okay, good. Do the same thing. You're going to go to the back. Hold it. If you want, you can go a bit deeper. Let the leg come back up a little bit more. If you feel the, say the glute, your butt cheek really needs to tighten to do this. And let it go. Good. Okay, working the sides. You got that. If you can get a full swing, I can't quite do it on this leg, but if you can do this with the leg floating, better. Oh, just about. Again, use the arms as much as you need. And then just hold it out as high as you can. There we go. Hold it. Hold it. Let it go. Just shake it out a little bit. And just work in the knee. Just start with like up, side, down. Up, side, down. Up, side, down. Not upside down. Up, out, down. Up, out, down. And then if you can go like up, out, back, around. Oh, I can't do it on this side. You remember it from the last one, so play with it. Step out. Step out. Okay, good. Just shake all the legs out. Both of them, all of them. Okay, just go into the legs here. So you're just going to stretch down a little bit. Feet on a line. Really stretching through the back of the leg. And really, everything you're going to stretch into the front hip as well. So there's a kind of closing a little bit of the body. Can really try and activate the back of the body, especially in this case, the legs. And then just change its side. Stretching down. But they're kind of closing in towards the center. So, good. Go a little bit further down. They're just coming down. You can, there's an intermediary step where you can go right down to this, but for today, just go down onto the knee. So just like that. Keep the back toe up, or you can flatten it depending on how you feel. Use the hands again as much as you need. If you don't need them, don't use them. If you don't need to put the hand on the front hip, don't do it. If you do, just use it. Good, and then just changing sides. Forward, stretch into the back hip. And a long spine, chest out a little bit, neck back, long. Just stretching forward into the front hip. That's it, good. Great. Okay, just coming back, you're going to put the feet on a line, this way. And then the hands are going to come on the same line. See? What's that? Just put the hands on the same line. Stretch the legs back a little bit. Okay. And then what I want you to do is just start to draw the body up. I'm going to put the hands on the chest, so they're just going to cross the chest here. And all I want you to do is just activate the hip. So you're just going to come down with the hip. If you need to, put the hands into the ground. If you can, keep them on the body. So you're just getting used to really kind of activating the lower body, the hip. Just let it go. So there's no real movement happening in the upper body, just in the hip. The legs are nice and solid, so they can really just ground the movement. Just looking to flex the hip. Again, use the hands as much as you need to. You can also put them in the ground. The key thing is that the arms don't take over. So just about 8 or so. And back. Yeah. Okay, bring the hands back down to the ground. And if you can now, bring the elbows into the ground.
A little bit deeper maybe with the stretch. Bring the elbows down. Especially at the lower back release. Okay, just walk the hands forward a little bit. Stretch through the spine. Just gonna shift a little bit. Okay, you're basing the fingertips and now you're pulling the spine back. So as if, again, it's as if someone's behind you drawing the hips back. So hands and hips are really drawing a line away from each other. Okay. Okay, the last one, just draw the hand shoulder width apart or to the level of the shoulder. Just here, and just stretching the hand up. Just going to raise it up. And in this case, just do about 5 on one side, 5 or 6. Just reaching up, stretching up and in the body. Stretching up in the body. And then changing side. Should feel like a kind of tripod with the hands and feet. And then you can really allow the upper body to rotate through the movement. One more. Wow. Okay, just slowly walk the hands back, the feet together. So you're just down in like a forward fold. Fingertips down, release the head, lower back, upper back. Take a nice deep breath. Just nice and slowly, releasing the knees, drawing back up to the toes with the hands. And you're just going to draw the body up. And try and get the finger really drawing up with the hips again. So center of the body draws the hands up. Just nice and slow, breathing all the time. Draw the body back up to center. Back up, back up, back up. Nice and slow. And just shaking the body out a little bit if you get to the top. Just feel the vertical, feel the weight of the body. Just that. Okay, good. Has everyone got a soft-ish floor? We're going to do a little bit of UKEMI. If you don't want to do UKEMI, you can do what you like. Oh, I'm going to give you some ideas. Something else you can do, don't worry about it. But we're going to just do this thing here. Okay, just come to here. The first one you're going to do is like a rocking. So you're going to just do from here. And all I want you to do is just go right down the spine. So the key thing is that you don't hit the head. So as you go back, keep the head off the ground when you do this kind of motion. The legs are in a kind of butterfly sense. You can also do them like this. Just experiment a little bit. But the key is getting this idea of just rocking down the body and rocking back. I'm going to do like this because it's a bit you can more comfortable for my knees. So just go back, coming back this way. The key thing is that I feel the curve down the spine. So the descent should be very controlled. It shouldn't feel like bumpy at all. And that also means the way up as well. So let the spine really connect to the ground. So you've got a kind of a curling of the body. And then as you come back up, a lengthening up. And I don't want to confuse the two. So there's a curling and a lengthening. Curling down, lengthening back up. Also that follows the breath as well. So generally the breath's out as you go down. And in as you come up. Out as you come down. In as you come up. Give it a try. That's it. There we go. Good, good, good. And you're really just rocking the body. So feel like a bit like one of these wobbly dolls. So you've got like a round base. There's nothing kind of flat about the body. That's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. Okay, good. Okay, just watching this one, also for your spine's sake. If you've got a flexible spine, this can be good and bad. So I've got a bit of flexible spine, so this can also be bad for me. So watch this as you go down. Just watch. I can put the load of the body on the head like this. It's quite easy for me to do, but if I go to that point, it's actually I'm gonna eventually go against the spine. So
what I don't want to do too much in this case, because I'm putting momentum into it, is place the head on the ground at all. So when you go back, really feel that there's a point when you bring the body over here, this is too far. So I basically crunch the body up. That's okay for like static holds and lifts and going into headstands and all this kind of thing. But in this case, because then you're adding momentum a little bit, try to find the perfect point there. So I don't put any pressure at all on the top of the spine. And then the neck. So the neck shouldn't feel crunched at all. So don't bring the legs over the body. So if I bring the legs over, yeah, you're gonna really go onto the neck. So keep the legs within the system. This is why tucking the knees in is quite a good way, because I can't take the legs beyond the body. So if I tuck the knees in, they can't go beyond the body. So you can also play with that. I can take the whole body over with it. Wait, but that's also really dangerous. So just trying to avoid that. That's it. And you're trying to massage the spine. You're not trying to destroy it and crunch it. That's the main thing with UKEMI work. Yeah. And you really only have one spine. So you've got 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 spine. Don't.
Michael,
yeah.
will you be rolling? Are you rolling on the side of your spine, like as opposed to directly on it?
Yeah, in this case, directly down the spine. But this is why I'm doing it very slow. So really slow and with full contact with the ground. So it's very soft, and I'm really making sure to take care of the spine, and that I don't like push back into it. So it's possible to do as long as this is a bit tricky where if I've got a very hard ground. So if I'm on a very hard ground, I won't tend to do this. But if I've got something soft, a yoga mat's enough just to kind of cushion the spine. But in this case, straight down it. But really important that I don't go into the neck. That's the main thing with this one.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Got it. Okay, good. So there's lots of these rocking kind of movements that you can do. The other one that you can do, which is quite useful, is like having the body here and just rocking sideways, this way. So this is still not a roll. This is because I'm not drawing the body over. So it's just rocking sideways, but explore just the limbs. So the key thing with this movement is that it's coming from the hip. So if you want to start with this, just go like this. The hands are down, and then I just feel like I can move the hips. Now there'll be a point when the legs go over. If I keep the spine down as it is, it will take a lot of stress. This is okay for stretching. I can statically hold it, or even do some isometric stuff. But what I want to do in this case is just let the spine come up. So find the point when the spine gets drawn out of the body, of the ground. So the hips go over, hips, and then the spine will take the body up. And just explore rolling the body over, rocking the body in this way. This is a rock. This is like what kids do. So when you try and teach kids UKEMI work, they will tend to do rocking work. And you just got to follow them for a long time. And then you can basically go into rolling work with them. But the kids tend to rock a lot, which is great. It's basically how you start UKEMI work. We tend to skip this stage with adults when we teach them UKEMI, and that's the big problem. We need to be really comfortable with rocking the body. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So there's a few ways you can do this, but just get a sense, whatever you do, it's always going to be motivated from the hip. So especially with UKEMI work, it's just really, really important. Hip motivates the movement. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. And just play with it, really. Yeah. That's it. Got it. Okay, so just taking this a bit further, when you basically take this into a roll, is you just make the rock bigger. So it's a bit like doing this basic one. We'll come to here next, but in this case, just keep the feeling that you're down, like this. You activate the hip, and then you just feel that you can roll up the body. So you're just going to go down, the hips go out to the side, and roll the body up. Goes down, hips to the side, roll the body up. So you're not quite doing this rock and back, rolling down the spine, but you're just activating the hip, following the body, and just let it sit up. Let the body kind of come up. Find the ground again, roll, and then just let it sit up. So this is a bit of a transition between rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. Rock into roll. And now rock into the rock. And again, just keep the legs really motivating it. If you do it like this, you can actually do this for a long time. So
it's actually quite easy to maintain the energy. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So in this case, rather than going front and back, you'll be going like side to side with the roll. So let's see, try and show. Like that. So in this case, go like side to side, which means you're going to take the hip over, and then I go over this way. So I end up facing the side, and then if I come back, there. So you're basically exploring. You're basically introducing now the side of the body to the ground. And this is what we use next when we go to the next step. Got it? Yeah, that's it, that's it. Good. Okay, so we go to the classic roll now. It's just using one side, rolling down, and then coming back up. Rolling down, coming back up. So now you get, just explore in this case, you do front and back, well, we're basically on the same line. You can also go a little bit over to the side, so just play with it. So a little bit of a rock, but mostly now here, and you're really using the spine, so you're really using the side of the spine. So from the shoulder to the hip, shoulder, back, hip, shoulder, back. Just play with it a little bit. You can also open it out. You bring the weight of the body up a little bit as well. Just really get the hips motivated in movement.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's it. There we go. What you'll find with this is the arms can give you direction. So the way you use the arms will determine where the body will go as well. So just use, watch this. If I use the arms in this way, I can start to use the arms to direct the body. So the arms will set a course and then the body will follow. But they're still not motivating the movement. They're just setting a track for the body to follow. There we go. That's it. That's it. Ooh. Very good. Let's do a couple of minutes or so just with this. So this is a crawl walk. So you've got basically rocking, rolling, and crawling. So you're going to do like a crab this time. So it's like this. The first few, you'll find like the hips want to collapse through it. So the kids tend to do like this when we do these kind of movements with the kids. Or they even do this, like shuffle the body along the ground. This is when the kids are really lazy. So you want to get the kids when you do these kind of things, and adults, I mean by kids as well, get their hips up. So I really want the hips to be up. If I can, I'm going to really bridge the whole body through the structure as I do it. So just get a feeling for this. This is really like sensual. Get the 4 points on the ground. The butt never touches the ground. So you're going to bring it up and you're going to lift the hips up. So again, the whole movement, you've got the connection with the ground on 4 points. All the movement is going to come from the hips and the core of the body. So just get this kind of feeling. You basically create like a tabletop. Play a little bit with the arms because you might find it's more comfortable this way with the fingers forward or this way with the fingers back. Depends on the structure, but just get a feeling for the hip can lift and drop down. Lift, drop down. Lift, drop down. And if you do this with the hip, it will feel really great for the body. If I try and do it with the rest of the body, like the legs, everything just traps. But if I just get the sense that the hips are free, totally, and I can just press up, free, lift up, that. That's it. I'll take it a bit further. Just get that feeling. Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is a great kind of core exercise as well. There we go. That's it, that's it, that's it. Great, there we go, very nice. Very nice. Think about a bit like slowly up and then slowly down. So really a bit, make it like a bit like a breathwork exercise as well. So I can kind of pop it and then pop back, but just get a sense that you can also really draw it up, get to the position, hold it a little bit maybe, and then draw it down. Especially like get it, especially there's 2 moments, starting the movement and getting to the final part of the movement. Those are really important parts.
tend to skip those parts. So we tend to skip the start, make it fast, and the finish, we'll just get out of it. These are actually the uncomfortable positions. So there, that first millimeter there, and the last millimeter. And then let it go. That's it. Good. Okay, just play now, you do the same thing, and at the same time you can play with the legs. So you do that, or you do the hands, that.
Hands will be hard.
That. Okay, just play with the legs. You've got 4 limbs. You can use them however you like. But again, get the sense that what you're doing is hip work followed by body work, followed by arm work, or hip work followed by leg work. That's it. And there's no right or wrong with it, so just play with it. The only instruction is like use the hips first. So let the hips motivate it, which is not easy, especially when you go to the limbs. And just play with where the weight is loaded. Yeah, that's it. And you should really realistically be able to lift all the limbs, not all at once, but you should be able to lift them. You can do that, I'll give you that. You're like next level, totally, but feel comfortable to be able to lift any of them at all time. I do this game with the kids, and I basically get them to grab the legs or grab the arms or kick the arms away from me. And if I can't lift one of them before they kick it out, they kick the arm away from me. So there's really nice exercises you can do with these, which kids love, just kicking the teacher's leg away from them, underneath them. Really good exercises. But just imagine you can just lift any of them out of the way. And these are really great core exercises because I don't really have a choice. I either engage the core or I just tire the body out totally. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, also try and touch the tongue. That's a good one. Yeah. Make it really challenging. Cool. Good. All right, last one. We're just going to go from this position here. And I want you to just start with the hands. So you're going to roll over and you're going to do like a spiral over. And then you're going to change the hand down and you're going to come into a front crawl position. Okay? And then you can choose, you can either go back the same way. This, back down. If you need to take a break in between it, but ideally don't. You've got this, coil the body over, coil it, come into a front crawl. And then again, you've got 2 choices. I can go back this way, or I can go back the other way. So I can do a full circle around. So just play with it. But basically transitioning from crab to crawl, front crawl. Crab, front crawl. And if you find it's pretty easy, just do it with like 2 limbs. You can do it with 3. Easier. One side. That. Again, just explore the core and the body. Yeah. And the hips, importantly. There we go. There we go. Good. There we go. So you're just really like revolving the body around itself. And it seems a bit logical and easy to say, but easier said than done. You want to really revolve around the center point of the body. And finding where that is and being able to motivate from there will really change these movements. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Good. Great. Very good. Okay, good. Just come in up to standing. Just shake the whole body out. So just hopefully feel the core. Maybe it's fatigue. That's also good. Hopefully the arms and legs are too. That's also really good. Just shake them out a little bit. Shake the legs. Roll them a little bit. Okay, good. Okay, take bokkên. Do a little bit super. Okay, good. So we're just going to Zengo. So just come in front and back. So just take in the kamae, the right side, raise into the back, sink in the right side, and then just straight away into Zengo to the back, cutting on the left. Make it nice and easy. Big clear moves. Boom. Over. Down. That's it.
Okay. Okay. See if you can work on one thing which is like constantly engaging and activating from the hip. So it goes a little bit, I think I said this last week, maybe on Wednesday or something. This idea of like ground, hip to hand, or feet, hip, hand, or ground, center, periphery, however you want to phrase it. The thing in that is that always the hip is going to be active because the hip is basically where the movement in the body is going to originate from. Now I draw the power from the ground, but the hip's going to be the origin of the power. So if I'm thinking about functional power, that means the hip always needs to be engaging through the hand. The moment it stops engaging, the hand's doing it. So then the power has got no base because it's just working the hand. So I do like something like that. Now just feel that even though the center solidifies into the ground, boom, the hip is going to continue. The hip's always going to kind of continue. So when you do this movement, get the sense that that movement in the hands is also the hip. So it's constantly communicating the hands. The moment it stops, I do it with the hands and the arms. And then this just lessens my effectiveness in terms of functionality. So get the sense that the hip, is constantly pressing through. Now it's doing it through a solid connection with the ground. So that means it's going to be quite minimal, but it's still there. It's still applying through the hip, applying through the hand. So just get this sense, again, the hip never really rests. It rests at the end of the movement, but it doesn't rest before the movement's finished. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah. Now the hip's also a bit human as well, so it also needs a rest in between the movements. Or it prefers a rest in between the movements, like most humans do as well. So if you have constant activity in the hip like this, the hip starts to go out of sync with the body because it just wants to rest and relax a little bit. So let it give it a little bit of breath as well. So let the hip really complete, and then it can really relax into the body, and then it can go. So give it a bit of space to actually find the ground. Let it go and then go. Let it go, let it go. But I need to give it a little bit of space. We can do this later when you go totally active. But in this exercise especially, just give it a little bit of root of ground, there, and then go. And this is how you get out of a little bit like having a restless body. So you want to kind of sense that you're always developing a kind of body at rest, even or especially when you're active. You want a sense of being kind of at rest. Yeah. There we go. Good. Okay, good. Great. Roland, have a question?
Yes.
Sure.
More. Can you say something again about when I do the turning, the connection between the hips and my arms? I'm not sure if I should leave the bokken on the line and with loose shoulders, I just put it around, or that there is something like this, something like this. So I'm not really sure about the movement of the arms.
Okay.
Yeah, so you think about the connection's always going to be mobile. So I never, if there's an idea like I want everything to be on a line, it's a physical impossibility for everything to be on a line, right? It can be working towards the line, but everything can't be on the line. So I mean, it's just logical. So if I cut with a feeling like the sword passes through the line, but the arms aren't now on the line either. So if the lines are kind of pointing through the space, the elbows, everything's off it. Now I want the sword to travel down the line, but I don't do it at the expense of the structure, doing this kind of stuff. Or like falling over. So I allow the structure freedom to go through it. So I need the structure to breathe. So that means that the structure is going to come out this way. Because that's just the way the arm's structured to work. It's not structured to work around. If it was possible for my joint to do that, with good mobility, it would be possible. But because the structure of the arm's like this, then that's the way I use it. So as it goes this way. That way. But the path of the sword is through the line, if that makes sense.
Okay,
But again,
yeah.
don't do it at the expense of your structure.
Mhm.
That makes sense. So I don't want to make a rigid structure to do it, to follow an idea. Forget it. Because the idea is not useful anymore, because I've created rigidity, and that's not the point, to create rigidity.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just watch this roll. So I'm not going to move you. Oh, I need to get you off. Done. There we go. Just watch this. What it's following is the center, always. So you've got the center line, but the sword is always going to follow the center. The arms too. So just watch this. If I do something like this now, they've lost the center because I'm pulling them out of the center. I'm pushing them away. So think all the time that the hands are connecting to the center. So wherever the center goes, the arms follow. Wherever the center goes, the arms follow. So they just follow. So that point is where the sword's that's the point the sword's following, or that's the structure the sword's following. The moment I take it away, it stops following the structure, it's doing its own thing. Or it's doing its own thing. So I really need the structure to be, the arm to be following the center. And that's straight from the first Suburi. Arms follow center, that way. In this case, you've added a rotation, so you make it complicated, but the idea is the same. Yes, that's it, that's better. Yeah, work with it. Yeah. Good. Not bad.
Michael, I have a basic question about foot position.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I can tilt my camera a little. It's like, is the back foot, I'm not sure if you can see me, but is the back foot kind of like 90 degrees to the front?
And then yeah, let me
engaging my glute and everything.
Yeah, watch this. I show me. Where am I gone? Let's see. Just watch this. So, because when we do sword work, I try to show you like this. So, when I do sword, I want the knees to be a bit closer. I want the knees to be unlocked. Now, the moment I do that with the sword work, it's possible. It's a little bit of another sword posture that we don't use. So, in this case, it would be like something like that, and then I would use something like that kind of posture, which is basically straightening the back leg and doing that kind of thing. That exists as a sword posture, but it's not quite the one we use in this case. So when we do this one, the posture's a little bit shorter, just like this. And I basically want the knees to be unlocked. So this kind of position. And I want through the cut, the knee to be constantly unlocked. So it goes into this kind of position. This. It doesn't go forward, but it doesn't also straighten. It just sits into the body. So it goes like that. So the hip, knee to toe basically goes boom. And it does it like in a kind of cushion. I don't do it importantly by stretching the back leg, doing that kind of thing. It's one way of doing it, and it's an effective way to cut, and it's effective posture. But in this case, this for us is a bit more there. It's a bit closer. Now, when I rotate, it also gives me the freedom to just go into it. I want constantly the sense that the knees are unlocked and not one's kind of locked out in this case.
Okay.
Real stability, but a little bit immobility. Gives me a bit less. So I'm interested in this case in being a bit more mobile. Just play with it. Because there's no right or wrong in this case. It's just the function of the cut that we use. It requires a bit, the both needs to be unlocked or released, maybe a better word. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just play it a little bit. Oh, yeah, tricky. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, play with it. Good. Yeah. Also, okay. One point. This is also a point that we use in this style. You can slide the feet on the floor and rotate on the floor. So just watch this. I can glide the foot back, and I can do this. So I can do this with the feet. Now I can get away with this on a very smooth, hard surface and a flat surface. As soon as I do this outside on a beach or I do it on a rock, and I glide the feet, the foot will just get stuck, and then the structure will go against itself. So what I want to do in this, Saito Sensei, sometimes you'll hear him write this or say it in some of the videos. Then he says like as if you're walking in a little bit in a patch of mud. So the ground's very muddy. So I want the sense that I can pick the feet up. So as I make this, the foot's kind of reaching out, coming out of the ground. It doesn't have to be much, but I need the feeling that I can raise the leg out of the ground. So the foot's going to raise. Foot's going to raise. And this works when you do it in underwater, when you do it in mud, when you do it on a flat surface. This works regardless of the surface. But if I'm sliding the feet and doing these kind of things, this only really works on a tatami. So it gives us a kind of false sense. So just play with it a little bit, like picking the feet up, placing them. Yeah. And again, the best thing is just test these out. It's not about kind of believing anybody, but just test them out, go outside, play them, do them on the beach, work with these forms, because some footwork is just more functional than others, unfortunately. And some footwork is more adaptable than others. That's really what I'm interested in. I can adapt it and I can use it. Yeah. That's it. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll go into number 7. So we're just going to do it like Zengo, just coming back, cutting down, and then rolling the hip through, finding the ski. Going to the back, finding the shomenuchi, finding the ski. So you go number 7, shomenuchi in the skate, and then ski. Roll to the back, shomenuchi, ski. Shomenuchi. Wait, a lot of noise. Sorry about this. Shomenuchi, ski. Number 7. This really shortened form into that. That's it. Shomen ski in this case. Good. That's it. Nice. So if you wanted to see someone do this very, very well, like at an incredible level, just go watch Paul Kessen's last class. So on Saturday, you'll see him, he can really use the hips and he can really use the feet in an incredible way with a lot of control. So go watch his class after or watch it at some point. But just get a sense that it's the same kind of feeling. What you want to do is really compress into the front foot so that it gives me freedom to be able to raise that foot out of the ground. Now, if I'm not really pressing it or I'm pushing off the ground, I basically fall through the ski and everything pushes forward. So what I want to do in this case is convert this motion down into the foot and then press a spiral through it. So just get a feeling now, you can just like encroach the body through. So you're going to go like here and then really slowly this ground contact established in the front foot, I just pass the structure into it and I release the hips. And then I press them forward with it. So the ski work doesn't have to be a forward motion at all. It's actually much more, it's about passing a spiral through the structure. It's not really about a forward motion. It's about that movement. Yeah. So just play with it a little bit. Again, it's an issue of balance mostly. So just get the sense of, if I fully find that cut into the front foot, the next movement will actually be very easy. Yeah. Nice, Catherine. Good. That's it, exactly. Done. Super slow. Great. Yes. Very nice. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So this is a really interesting point, and also why mobility works very, very important for us, because one of the solutions I can go to is to lock the structure up. So I can basically start in the hip and I can pass it through a locked structure, which basically means all the joint system here is locked. And then basically what happens is like this. So I do the movement from the hip, but I'm actually locked all the structure up. It tends to pass through into the knees and the feet as well. But just get the first thing is just get the feeling that you can just mobilize the upper body. So that movement from the hip, that. So this connection with the elbow, this is where it's kokyu work. So kokyu work is really about like expanding the whole structure down the limb. Dum. The moment I lock kokyu into this kind of work, this is where I'm not really doing kokyu work. I'm pushing and pulling. So I want the sensation of this, the joints free. But it's really important being motivated from the hip. So just play with it like that. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just about mobilizing the structure. And in this case, you're going towards a spiral pattern with the arm. That. And then it comes out. So just play with it. It's like you work into it a little bit. And this is really useful to like break the movement down into sections and pieces. Oh, hit the light, good. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the main point about extension work. We mistake extension work for one of two things: pushing, pulling, or stretching the body out. So extension is none of these things. So think of it: if I push it, I basically pull it, push it, push it out. If I just stretch it out, it's like this. I just stretch the whole system out, but it's something that's breathing. So it's got a breath to it. So it's coiling through it. So that means that this relationship, the relationships between the hips to the elbows, to the shoulder, to the wrist, to the hips, all of this is constantly in communication and relationship. But I don't fix it and then press it forward. It's constantly moving. So it's constantly mobile. And it's only at that specific point that when it locks into place, it becomes like it becomes a solid thing. But all this time it's fluid, and then it goes solid. And then I release it, fluid, solid, fluid, solid. So different states of movement, basically. And the key one for us is the solid state, but really important for us, more important in my sense, is the fluid state, being mobile. So that's it. Okay. That's it, kid. Yeah. Got it. Okay, cool. Good. So we'll do a complex one to finish. So you just go now like this. You go from the back, Shonenichi, ski. Now rather than goes out from the back leg and slice across here. Now you're going to draw the whole body through, slice back onto the left side. And we'll just go that far today. So you go like this, goes to the back, slice, cut, and then what you do is draw the back out, which is now the right leg. slices out, and then you draw the whole body through, cut back with the body. So yeah, hopefully you can see. If you can't, I'm going to keep showing itself. This one sec. That's the lights. So I'll draw you through. If you want, just copy me. So you go like here, Shomenuchi.
Shomenuchi.
E. Yeah, you slice out to the right side. And then you step through back foot, step in, cut back. And you finish on the left side. I'll show you from this way. Shomenuchi. Ski. Slice out. Step in, cut back. And coming through. Shomenuchi. Ski. Slice. Step in, cut back. Okay, give it a try.
Oh.
Got it?
All right.
If you get lost, just stick with 1 and 2. And then if you get 3, fine. 1, 2, 3. And then the 4's the difficult move in this case. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Not bad. Good. Good, good, good. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So in this case, the form's not quite finished up. Finish it off how you like. You can finish it off with a few movements, but it's not quite finished. You can't finish a form on the left side. So just get a sense you can play with whatever you want, and you can constantly change it, but use this as a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But finish it off how you like or how you feel. Don't feel the need to copy anything. Just follow your feelings. Because here, slice out, roll back, and just feel when it finishes. You can add 1 move, you can add 2 moves, but very difficult to finish a form on the left. Good, Adrian. Nice. Nice. Oh, good one. I like it. Good. Good. Whoosh! Right. Wow. Was. Okay, last 30 seconds or so. Just mix up anything you like. So you can use any cut, you can use any slice, any step in, turn, rotating, whatever you want. Just mix them up into sets. 3, 4, 5 movements, something short. Just keep it really contained. And really using these motions. Use the structure we've been doing all the time. Really leading out from the hip. Hip. Engaging the hip all the time. Hip. Hips. Hips. Hip. Hip. Yeah. And when you lose it, just drop it. Start again. Whoosh. Oh. Good, there we go. Again, in this case, allow the hips to really rest. So finish the position, let the hip rest. Let it go somewhere else, let the hip rest. And go somewhere else, let the hip rest. Otherwise the hip will start to reject the movements. It will start to go, no, 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 no. I want to stop. So let the hip rest through the move. Good, there we go, nice. Good, Catherine, very nice. Yeah, great. Very nice. Great. Doesn't work. Good. We're gonna stop.
I'm done.
Good. So play with your own forms, basically. Playing with my own forms teaches me how much I don't know about the forms. So that's why I play with them as well, because I realize how little I know about slicing work and shogunuchi work. So the more I play with them, the more I realize I don't really get them. And then you can feed that back into the basic training. So it's a good thing to do. And it's not about making your own set or creating your own series. It's just about playing with it. So that's basically it. Okay. So, domo arigato gozaimashita.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Great.
Thank you, Michael.
You're very
Thank you,
welcome.
Michael.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you very
See you
much.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye.
I want to thank you for
Thank you,
setting up
Michael.
that foundational training link. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, which one?